All right, everybody. I think we are live. Let me know if you can hear me. We're supposed to start at 6:45 because we're getting home late instead of 6:30, and I typed the wrong thing in. Don't forget to pick up your TriStar trading gear, 20% off for Black Friday. Follow the link in the description, obviously, or my MeWe page, or any of the links I posted today. So they have a Black Friday the sale and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you go check out TriStar Trading, and that's enough about that. Great stuff. I do love the shirt though. Government watch list, official member. If you're not on a government watch list, you're not doing it right. All right. So sorry, I'm a little bit late here. Got 9 people watching. All right. So make sure you type into the chat. Type into the chat so I can shout you out. And let's go through the chat. It looks like JJ Griffin was first, and he jumped into a 6mm arc bandwagon, still doing a barrel breaking at 50 yards. Only have 20 rounds down the tube. Cool. Let us know how it keeps going. What's up, Dan O'Neill? Yep. Yes, sir. All right. What's up, Bamsey Moy? Justin Perriman, how you doing? All right. Montana Musings Outdoor Channel. Red Baron, what's up? Good evening, Miniman Outfitters. Good slings. Go check them out. So wasn't able to get by that local store to get you one, give them your one yet, but they're interested for sure. Right, Red Baron again. What's up? Hunter Kirk for North Idaho. Daniel Ravenstar, Alaska One Andy. Very good. Happy Thanksgiving to all from Dublin, Georgia. Nice, thank you very much. I think my best friend's parents are from near Dublin. I don't remember. So anyway, Montana Musings Outdoor Channel. Pretty quiet here. Yep. Centerfire go boom. Yep. How you doing? Shh. We're hunting websites. There we go. Picked up some 9mm target ammo for 210 a case of 1,000 locally. Very good. Where you be? Oh, 645, like I said in the email, bullets for bucks. All right. It's a great price. Yep. Fiocchi was 223, was 389 a case. I hope you bought like 10 cases of that. Shoot. You could turn around and sell it for 500 a case in most places. I was at a store called Bymart. Cool. I don't think there's a real ammo crisis going on. I think it's all fake. I think they're rushing to see how much we would actually pay. Maybe prices are coming back down after the manufacturing scare. Maybe. Let's see. Of course, this is me. Supposed to start at 6:45 p.m., not 6:30. That was me. Wonder if it's getting attacked by zombie moose or a thing. What's up, Ghost Tactical? How you doing, sir? Great channel. If you haven't gone and subscribed to Ghost Tactical, you suck at life and you need to reevaluate your choices. Go subscribe to him. All right. What's up, David Walcott? North Pole here. Oh, good. Red Team 98. North Pole, Alaska. What's up, Keith Graham? Enola, okay, Oklahoma there. Good. Nice to see you here. Ken Bean, the man, the myth, the legend. All right. Best cast bullets you can buy. CKBcastbullets.com. Go talk to Ken there. So I'm sorry, I got busy with a different project and I still haven't loaded up the 44 Magnums. Yep. North Pole 2. Yep. There you go, Chris. You're from North Pole 2, Chris? Cool. All right. Zeroed my red dot on my XDM Elite last weekend. Shoots great now. There you go. Good to see you, brother. Thoughts on the 2545 Sharps? The new cartridge, the 2545 Sharps. I think it's a freaking amazing cartridge, and it hasn't caught on because Sharps doesn't have the marketing department that Hornady has. But I mean, a 20-inch barrel AR-15 platform with an 87 grain bullet going 3,000 feet per second. It's kind of hard to argue with. 20-inch barrel AR-15 platform. So he's here. 130 grain GMX or 308 150 grain. Well, they don't make the GMX anymore. They make the CX. That the GMX is gone. It's discontinued. So you might still find some boxes of it here and there. Somebody might have it on clearance somewhere, but the Hornady CX is what is going on now. So kind of, but yeah, between the two, I'd probably For whitetail, it doesn't matter. I mean, neither one of those is like you're splitting hairs at that point. I would go with the 130 grain Barnes TTSX on whitetail myself in 308. They have a 130 grain Barnes in 308. I've done a video on 300 Magnum and 308 with it. Two videos in 308 with it. So yeah, Spear sold business to overseas company, but it's the same company that owns Fiocchi. So North Pole 3. So we got three people in here from North Pole. My Walther WMP pistol having issues now. I put an RMR on it. It has tons of unburnt powder in it. Not sure what to do. That's the problem with 22 Magnum in a pistol is lots of unburned powder. 22 Magnum, if you're gonna have it in a handgun, it's much better to have it in a revolver because 22 Magnum was not designed. It uses, unlike 22, which uses pistol powders mostly, it actually uses rifle powders for 22 Magnum. So you actually will have a lot of unburnt powder. They're not designed to burn as quickly because there's a longer barrel typically. So that's the problem with 22 Magnum in a pistol. I mean, Keltec has dealt with it for years with their, what is it, the PMR 30, and there's lots of jams and stuff like that with it, and so kind of is what it is. Thoughts on the Velo hard 10 millimeter hard cast? I've got a box, haven't tested it, so I'm gonna try to do a best ballistics gel test, best bear protection ballistics gel test. So it won't cycle failure to feed. The other thing I can do is tell you to find the hottest stuff you can. Find the hottest stuff you can. Hello from Tennessee. What's up, David Posey? All right, here's a good question. All right, so if you haven't seen a late night gun chat with me, or Tuesday night gun chat now, as I call it, because it's not late here, but it's late on the East Coast. Um, put in your questions and I'll answer them. That's all we do here. Okay. So my advice is worth exactly what you paid for it, unless you give a super chat, in which case my advice is worth less than what you paid for it. So is what it was. It is what it is. 22,250 worth it if you already have a 223. No, 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 it's not. Um, my venture into 22,250 was to see if you could load it with good bullets and good military bullets and see if it would go through level 4 body armor, and it doesn't. Like, there's not been a single piece of body armor that it's gone through with 22,250. So anyway, keep that in mind. I just um like, I don't see the point in it. If you're gonna shoot varmints and coyotes at 900 yards with a 22 caliber, yeah, get you a 1 in 7 twist, get you a 80 grain ELDM or ELDX or something like that, for coyotes, something that will actually, handle coyotes. So like that's different. But if you're only shooting coyotes between under 500 yards, man, 55 grain VMAX and a 223 will do just fine. So how well does Gen 4 G17 G19 handle plus B? Like a charm, and plus B plus. Don't even worry about it. All right. Have you heard any feedback on the BCA 10 millimeter AR-15? I have not. I have not. I just found out they had one like when you wrote the comment. So sorry, I have not looked into it at all. Bear Creek Arsenal. I would go look at my MeWe page and go with the Pro 2A Tactical. They got a lot better quality than BCA. Bear Creek Arsenal. 200 grain hard cast and 10 millimeter Underwood. Yeah, that's the best round for deep bear defense. 200 grain hard cast because it's gonna, unlike 220, it's not gonna have feeding issues in certain guns. 200 grain tends to feed in everything, so is what it is. What's up, Daniel Ravenstar? How you doing? Better get ammo for the 223. Yeah, I think it's gonna come down in a few. I think people are tired of these fake ones. So greetings. Just got a phone to him correctly. Yep. How you doing? Did you ever try the Federal 223 nozzle partition? I have not. I have not ever had it shoot tight groups for sure. But if it does in yours, great. 60 grain chronographed at 3,100 feet per second. What's your barrel length? Yeah, that's about right. 31. You should be able to squeeze 3,200 out of a 60 grain if you hand load, but 31 for factory, yeah, it's about right. All right, David Walcott says thoughts on the HSM bear load. Absolutely terrible. Don't do it. All right. They said less than 600 foot-pounds out of my G40. So even with a longer barrel, it's less than 600 foot-pounds. Terrible. It's weak. I would not go with it. The bullet they use in it, though, I believe, is the what they would use in a Spear Lawman. It's a flat nose bonded full metal jacket. So it's not a horrible bullet. And sometimes going slower will give you a little bit more penetration, but it's like I still want to see at least 650, 700, 650 to 700 foot-pounds on anything I use for bear protection out of my G40. Like that's kind of like my minimum is like a good hard bullet should be able to penetrate at those energies. 815 foot-pounds, it may break apart. Yeah. Okay. You know, if it's a 200 grain bullet and it's going 14, 1500 out of a carbine, it might start to shred. Even a hard cast bullet might start to shred going that fast. Is not designed for that. But it's hard to say. So again, yeah, very soft, David. I've got a video on it, David Walcott. Like there's an old video on my channel, very old, very bad quality. But yeah, I have a video on it, so that's that. Can't wait to see the Power Shock video. Well, you're gonna have to. Been using a 308 Power Shock for deer, and it's a powerhouse for only being $25 a box. Yeah, yeah. So the federal Power Shock video is going to wait because it was too cold to chronograph the other day, and I chronographed it at 5 degrees, and everything was like super low. Like I don't know if it was the way I was holding it with the chronograph. Like everything I chronographed that day, not just that ammo, but every ammo was super low. So um, again, I have a video on these. Stay away from Grizzly cartridge. They do not make consistent ammo. I've seen primer pockets that were too loose. I've seen jams from them. I've seen a feet per second spread in their 45 auto of over 300 feet per second extreme spread. I had some of them, chronograph 870, and some of them chronograph 1100 and something in a 185 grain plus P in a Glock 21. Again, there's an old video on that. So make sure you go check that out. A Grizzly cartridge and HSM, stay away from. You know, unless it's plinking. If you're plinking with the HSM is fine, but is what it is. You should try the 17 Remington. It got really high velocity. Some are knocking at the door at 4,800. I don't know about ammo availability though. So, Chris, so going through level 4 isn't about speed. Going through level 3 plus steel is about speed. Okay. Going through level 4 is not about speed. Going through level 4 is about bullet construction. Speed helps, but that ceramic tile, the faster you send the bullet at it, the faster that ceramic tile is going to break up the bullet. So you have to have the bullet construction. And there are no military tungsten core or steel core bullets for the 17 Remington. They don't have a 17. There's some full metal jacket like 25 grain or 30 grain or 22 grain or something like that, 20 grain. There's some full metal jacket for the 17 Remington. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, not that. So, all right, gonna look them up after the stream. Cool. 22 rivers turning blood red around the world. What's that about? All right, 25 odd 6 or 6 millimeter 6.5 Creedmoor. Um, again, I got 2 videos on this, so go look it up. They're neck and neck. If you need the speed with a lightweight bullet, you go 25 odd 6. If you need the ballistic coefficient with a heavier bullet, you go 6.5 Creedmoor. But the energies that they deposit are neck and neck, especially out of a 22-inch barrel. That's the thing is 6.5 Creedmoor can perform with the short action out of a 22-inch barrel. The 25-06 is a long action and needs a 26-inch barrel. So 25-06, it to me, it's just not worth the extra pain there, and you can't get high ballistic coefficient bullets. There are some now. There's a 131 grain black aces, and And there's now a new 101 grain Barnes LRX, which is a lightweight bullet, but it's a good speed. And you go 6.5 Creedmoor in that case. 6.5 Creedmoor is going to do a lot better job of penetrating. That being said, people use 25-06 for moose up here, and the 123 nozzle partition from that 25-06 will kill anything in North America. So don't get me wrong, like so will the Barnes, but like I think with based on ammo availability, selection of guns, twist rate of the barrel, high BC bullets, um, cheaper ammo. If you need cheap full metal jackets, they exist out there for 6.5 Creedmoor, $22 a box. You're not going to find any 25-06 for $22 a box. And there's some 6.5 Creedmoor out there less than $20 a box. PSA, I'm under State Armory. Go check out my link on my MeWe page. So kind of is what it is. I do not have access with a 300 H&H. So, yeah. So let me know your experience, but I do not have access. So, all right, what's up, 76? What's up, Brian? How you doing? Um, there's Barn Vortex 10 millimeter full metal jacket, 155 grain neat. I wonder how those would be. That's interesting because I have not seen a Barnes Vortex 10 millimeter full metal jacket. I've only seen it with their X-Tac bullet, which is a hollow point, a deep cavity hollow point. And I got a video on those too, by the way, but I think they're 140 grain. Let me look this up. I need to look this up. Barnes 155 grain 10 millimeter. Yeah. The only one I see here is the XPB. That's X-Ray Papa Bravo, and that is a hollow point bullet, not a full metal jacket. So yeah, and it's under energized as well because that thing is huge. It's a huge bullet, 155 grain. It's longer because the hollow point cavity is so deep and it's made out of copper. It's longer than a 200 grain jacketed hollow point lead bullet, like the XTP, for example. So that's the XPB PV. So would you say 308 or 6.5 in an 18 to 20 inch barrel? 308. 308. So my 308, which is right over here, sorry for my messy ammo shelf, but you can see it right there. My 308 didn't pick up a gun and touch it, YouTube. Loses about 750 to 70 feet per second in an 18-inch barrel. My 6.5 Creedmoor loses about 175 to 200 feet per second in a 18-inch barrel. So that it's overboard, it's going to lose a lot more velocity. Um, so I would definitely say 308 or an 18-inch barrel, since I have one right there sitting with an 18-inch barrel. The Tiller grade 7.62 by 50, or excuse me, 6.8 by 51 NATO mirror 277 Fury round with half brass, half steel case looks wicked. The public version seems to be comparable to standard 270. Yes, correct. But it's comparable to standard 270 out of the 16-inch barrel you can buy. So it's getting 270 ballistics, but out of a shorter barrel. So there is that. It's still operating at 65,000 psi, and the half brass, half steel is operating at 80,000 psi, 87,000 psi, or something like that. That's a lot of pressure. So I would not, under any circumstance, want to own that. So yeah, ammo shortage is fake news. IMO. A lot of us stocked up after the last one. That is correct. In your opinion, what is the most popular hunting cartridge in all the states? 30-06. 30-06. And I have no love for the 30-06. I don't hate it. I've killed an animal with it. But 30-06, 270, 308. And those, get out west, it's going to be 300 Win Mag, 7mm rim mag. But 30-06 will kill anything in North America. And it has for decades. So does anybody out there remember the primer shortage of 1994-ish? Well, considering that I was maybe turning 13 years old at that time. No, I do not remember it. My dad didn't reload. Wasn't born until 97. There we go. Yep. So no, I don't remember it at all. Sorry, buddy. But that's that. So anyway, uh, videos coming out this week. I got some 6.5 PRC again. Chronographed pretty low because the other day. So I'll be working on that and getting that out sometime this week, probably Friday or Saturday. The Wednesday schedule I was adhering to is just too much. I have to spend too much time with the kids and stuff during the week. And so it's hard to get, which is fine. It's better. It's hard to get the video out on time. So I'll be having a 6.5 PRC video coming out this week. I meant to have a 300 Win Mag, but I just could not get any good reads over the chronograph with it. And they were like 700 feet per second slow. It was like, whoa, something's not right here. So anyway, I'm gonna try to go out again if it gets up into the 30s instead of 5 degrees. If it gets up into the 30s, I'm gonna try to go again. So get it out there. All right. So let's go back and talk about this. That military grade 277 Fury. I just don't think that's going to last. And I don't, unless the bullet's almost pure tungsten with a copper jacket, I don't see it. I just don't see it, you know, penetrating level 4 easily. So I have not tried Hornady's Monoflex 10 millimeter. Obviously you're not talking about a bear round because it's a expanding bullet. You know, you want solid cast, flat nose bullets for bear protection, or solid copper or solid hard cast or something like that. What's up, David Thompson? How you doing? Hope you're having a good evening. Is that your cat playing with a gun there in your eye in your thing? Cool. All right. Yeah. Have you looked into the new Garmin chronograph? I have not. Um, I can say I wasn't impressed with the was not impressed with the lab radar. The lab radar is great if you're on a static range that has hundreds of yards in front of you. But when you shoot in places like I do, which are like 20 yards apart in public land somewhere, yeah, and when you shoot on public places like that, yeah, you can't really, yeah, you can't pick up the velocity. It needs more. It needs longer bullet travel to pick up the velocity. So, okay, in North Carolina, bro, good. That's awesome, man. So, can you have an aluminum jacket on tungsten? I don't know. Not in the United States, I don't think. What are we discussing tonight? Whatever questions you ask. That's all we ever that's all we ever discuss is whatever questions you ask. So, um, yeah, I'll have to look in this new Garmin chronograph. Much better than the Caldwells. The Caldwells seem to work, but much better than the Caldwells, I'm sure. So, yep. So, yeah, this is just me answer your questions. So, how does an EAA witness handle bear loads? Again, I've got a video on that. Does pretty well. I had one jam in like some full metal jackets, but did okay with the bear loads. So 150 grain 308 or 180 grain. What would the 180 grain do more damage because it's heavier, or would the 150 do because it's faster? Again, grain has little to do with how much damage it's going to do. Grain is only a comparison of weight, which is going to change your speed, but bullet construction is more important than damage it's going to do. So if you have a 308 and you have a 150 grain, but it's a Barnes TTSX, it's going to do much deeper penetration than a 180 grain, Remington core lock, for example. All right. So you're going to get a lot better penetration on that 150 grain 308 than 180 grain. And so, you know, don't just talk about bullet, talk or weight. Don't talk about bullet weight. Talk about specific bullets and their constructions. So I would say in 308, you'd want one in a TTSX or a copper bullet, you'd want 120, 130 grain to 150 grain because those copper bullets need speed in order to do their job. They need lots of speed. If you're going with a soft point and you want to make sure you penetrate, especially whitetail or black bear or something like that, then you go the 180 grain if you're going soft point, but even a bonded soft point. So I would definitely take a look at the Accubond, or not the Accubond, the Bond Strike. I have a video on the 308 Bond Strike from Norma. Go look at that. Go look at that. I think you'll like it because we had an 18-inch barrel, 180 grain, and man, it was awesome. Now that 18-inch barrel is going like 2,400, so kind of is what it is. Still have primers from 1994. Price sticker on them is $2.99 per 100 count. Nice. Hello from British Columbia. What is the better caliber out to 350 yards? 6.5 Creedmoor or 7mm '08? I shoot the 120 grain TTSX out of my 7mm. It's a little laser beam and devastating on deer and black bear. Well, if I mean out to that distance, they virtually tie out to 250, and then 300. The 6.5 Creedmoor is going to pull a little slightly ahead. Um, but shooting the 120 grain out of either, both of them have a 120 grain, and you're going to get a little faster velocity with the TTSX 120 grain in the 7mm '08. So again, 6.5 Creedmoor is not designed for fast velocity. It's designed for a high BC bullet. And so, yeah, you can load a 120 in it and get 3,000 feet per second, but I think you can get 31 in the Barnes manual out of the 7mm '08. So if that's what you use, I'm a 6.5 Creedmoor fanboy. Don't get me wrong. But if you already have a 7mm '08 and you're getting good results, don't listen to fanboys like me. Go, go shoot what you like and do what you need to do because that there's nothing in the United States and Canada in the North American continent that the 120 grain TTSX out of a 7mm '08 can't kill. Would it be my first choice on big brown bear and bison? No, but it could kill them absolutely. So yeah, got a Garmin chronograph on the way. They claim it does not have issues have the issues the lab radar does. That's cool. Well, maybe we should go out and test it and shoot it. You the gun, bro. Love your chats and videos. Thanks, brother. Marvin, add and placement. Yeah, shot placement is obviously more important than anything. But bullet construction and shot placement are 99.9% of the game. The other 0.1% is the power of your cartridge. So Israeli 30 caliber AP is very sharp tungsten, only seated in a copper. They will handle extreme velocity and 300 Win Mag or any 30 caliber. Cool. Can you ship me some? That'd be awesome. Best 308 for zeroing a scope. Whatever you're actually going to use. You zero your scope with whatever you're actually going to use. You don't zero your scope with some cheap ammo and then go use some expensive ammo. No. Um, yeah. No, that's kind of a weird question, to be honest with you. If you're going to shoot the most expensive box of ammo on the shelf, because that's what's accurate in your rifle, then you shoot, then that's what you sight in with. Whatever you're going to use hunting. You don't sight in with something else and then not readjust the sights for whatever you're going to use hunting. Yeah, that's kind of a weird question. I don't really get, best 308 to sight in with, whatever for zero in your scope, whatever. Sorry. All right, whatever your rifle likes and you're going to hunt with, that's what you sight in with. And that's what you stock up on, even if it's more expensive. All about energy and bullet design. Absolutely. Our deer rifle season started last Saturday. Congratulations. I have scored so much brass in the last week at the public hunting range. Seems like everyone and their dog shoots 6.5 Creedmoor and Grindle these days. Yeah, why not? There you go. If you don't have a 6.5 Creedmoor, send the brass to me, Rato. I could use it. Email me at AlaskanBallistics.com. So, if they had the same bullet construction, 180 grain versus 150 grain 308, like 150 grain fusions versus 180 grain fusions, which one are you picking for whitetail? 150 grain fusions. I want the speed. Bonded bullets need speed at distance. So I'd rather have the speed at distance, especially since you're talking whitetail woods. You're not probably ever going to ever shoot over 300 yards. My longest whitetail shot was like 127 yards, So I didn't take a shot over 200 yards on game until I came to Alaska. That was my first caribou at 280. My second caribou at 212. My first black bear was 319, and then my third caribou was 459. So yeah, does it matter accuracy wise if you use soft point compared to full metal jacket or some like match rounds? Um, no. So accuracy is going to be most how that round fits your chamber and how the barrel harmonics are vibrated by that round. That's what does accuracy, other than your personal skills. That's what accuracy is all about. And so that's why some guns like certain loads, and some guns of the same make and model made on a different day don't like that load. So um, there can be some very accurate soft points. Where you're going to have problems is like, okay, Remington Corlock shoots half an inch at 100 yards for me, but then it opens up to 4 inches at 300 yards because it doesn't have a boat tail, or 700 yards it opens up to 9 inches over MOA, because it doesn't have a boat tail to reduce the drag, and it's not a good bullet coefficient, and the lead is starting to deform in the air a little bit from all the speed it's air it's gone through, stuff like that. Like so if you're only shooting 300 yards, not a big deal. Shoot whatever groups in your rifle. But if you're shooting, 5, 6, 700 yards, it's a big deal. So, thoughts on the lightweight Ruger S-Far 308? I think it weighs 6.6 pounds. It's a good gun, and I hope you like it. There's a lot of people that they require a break-in period. They require you reading the manual and putting the gas settings on correctly according to them, and then changing them back to normal after your break-in period. So there's definitely an issue there. So some people pull it right out of the box and just shoot it, and that's not the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to check the gas settings, break in the barrel, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was just watching Braden Langley Outdoors Academy on this. So go check out his channel if you haven't checked out his channel. So hit me up in January. It's my Christmas gift. I will. I will. Ooh, too. Time to celebrate. Coffee time. There you go. We are winning slowly. We are winning, but it's slow going in the courts. We are winning. So, you know, I'm hoping some more of these big cases make it up to the Supreme Court. That'll be really, really nice. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. We had Maryland's law get struck down today. We had Oregon's law get struck down today. So, a lot of good news today. So, guys, so a lot of good news. So, anyway, yeah, but I don't do a lot of those videos just because the other people do such a good job. There's no reason or point in copying them. Um, so if there's something happening in Alaska, I'll probably do a video. But like, um, definitely, definitely is kind of you know between Crump, um, John Crump, and Jared from Guns and Gadgets, and Langley Outdoors Academy, and um, the Arms Scholar. There are some really good stuff there. Yeah, waiting on SCOTUS to hear the range case. Yep. I'm 60 years old, killed a lot of deer. No matter what bullet design, full metal jacket, hollow point, etc., deer went down. Feet per second. Ask the dead deer if 100 miles per hour or feet per seconds matters. Exactly. Like, make sure you ask them. So I had to fix my dad's 788 Remington. Had a push pin into the fixed fire safety switch. Got it cleaned and fixed too. Good, cool. I'm still working on fixing my Savage, my Savage 111, the 5 by 284. So um, HUD just been helping me out with that, and so far nothing. I really can't tell unless I'm loading around. So I have whitetail 10 yards off my front porch. Should I use 150 grain of sweet talk them into the kitchen with maple gr- grain? Yeah, sure. 150 grain, whatever bullet design you want, it'll be fine. Yeah, William Kirk at Washington Gun Law is also open. Own a 788 22 250 1976 model, accurate as all get out. My favorite sniper gun. There you go. 22 250 will do it. Shot a deer at 20 yards with my Glock 20. Used a SIG V Crown. It ran 40 yards, and that was that. Did you hit the shoulder bones or anything? And did the bullet jacket separate? Because I know those have a tendency to jacket separate in the Glock 40, but it's going faster in the Glock 40. So, and I've seen pictures of hunting where the hunting videos where the bullet is separated too. But congratulations on the deer, by the way, and eat well. So glad you got it one with your handgun. That's a goal of mine, to deer hunt with a handgun. I guess I need to go to Dan O'Neill's place here. I need to either look for a trigger guard or make one myself. Yeah, there you go. Good luck with that. We talk bear hunting as well. Yep. I still got to take the bear bedding course online. I have not taken it. I've been meaning to do it for 7 years. So yeah, you can text me and pester me about that. Get my butt in gear. So anyway, I've been spending most of my time cleaning up in here. So we have a pretty junky basement. Yeah. $199 in 1976. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just crazy? But you know what? You know, that's what inflation does. Went off the gold standard. Now our dollar isn't worth anything. It was behind the shoulder and exited very lucky. Okay, so it did a good job. Okay, did its job. I'm assuming it probably also went expanded really well. The exit hole was bigger, so 6.5 Grendel worth getting in a bolt platform, even if I have a 308. No, 6.5 Grendel is an intermediate cartridge. It's not even a short action. You're not going to get the energies. Um, the only way I would have a 6.5 Grendel bolt gun is if I already owned an AR-15 SBR, 12.5 inch, 14.7 inch barrel, something like that, and had an SBR, and I wanted a bolt gun to go with my SBR, kind of as a bug out, and had the same ammo for both. Although I would probably not get a 6.5 Grendel as a bug out because of ammo availability. So anyway, so yeah, 6.5 Grendel bolt gun. I've sold one to somebody before, and he had the same thing. He had an ASBR, he had a 16-inch or something like that, and that was his. And he already had a suppressor for it. That was going to be his new suppressor host for 6.5 Grendel, was the 16 or 18-inch barrel ranch model or whatever, Ruger American. I can't remember what it was. Been more than a decade since I tried bear meat or fat. Well, that's a problem. Need to go get your bear. This weekend I'm using my AK-47 to deer hunt. Cool. Have fun, man. Have fun. 7.62 by 39 soft point will take care of a deer. You don't need more than that, man. You do not need more than that. Let me know how it goes. I hope you get a nice, big, huge trophy buck with your 7.62 by 39 millimeter. So that would be awesome. Good luck. Yeah. All the rifles I own up to a 300 Win Mag, 22-250, 7088 model. My number one hands down rifle. 2-inch groups at 300 yards. There you go. 17 HMR, 22 Mag. It depends on what you're trying to do. But I will tell you this, having owned both, I will probably never buy an HMR again because the wind affects it so much. You sight in at 50, and if there's a wind gust between 50 and 100, you're 6 inches to the left. I mean, it's nuts. Michael Kaler and I, which, if he ever joins the chat again, Michael Kaler and I were shooting one day, and we were shooting like 700 yards with my 17 HMR, and it was windy, and I was aiming like 25 feet to the right, from a wind going this way to my right, and it was awful. So I was hitting though. I was hitting what we were aiming at. There's a swamp down the hill from us, and we would just pick out a certain mud puddle, and he'd call it out, and he'd call it out, hit and miss, or we'd heard it hit a certain rock, and you could see the splash of the rock because the bullet would hit, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, wish I lived in Alaska. Well, you can change that. All it takes is money. Okay, AR-15 and 300 AAC Blackout or for 50 Bushmaster. Which one would you think would be better in the tundra? Um, well, I mean, you do have to worry about bears in the tundra, brown bears, and the brown bears. That makes it a 450 Bushmaster. But if you're thinking about taking a caribou out to 300 yards, well, then you really need to look into 6.5 Grindle, 25-45 Sharps, 6 millimeter arc. Uh, you need to look into those things. So, text you later tonight about baiting. Thanks. 7.62 by 39 brass converts easily into 6.5 Grindle in a pinch. Just we'll always have to use large primers instead of small. That's not a problem. So, yeah. 300 Blackout is fun. It has its ups and downs, but I wouldn't live anywhere else. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I went to Georgia thinking I would feel a little at home because I grew up there, and I hated it. I was going over the rolling hills in Georgia, to the gun range for IV 88, and I'm just looking up, and there's no mountains. And it's just like, and going to the mountains like LJ and stuff like that in Georgia, like just, it's like this isn't any fun anymore. When I lived in mid Georgia where I grew up and went to the mountains, it was like, ooh, these are the mountains. This is nice. This is pretty. This is. But I come up here and I'm like, those are barely hills. You know. So it has its ups and downs, but I wouldn't live anywhere else. That's for sure. Are there some downsides to living in Alaska? Yes. If you want to be a big time prepper and you think you want to live in a hole in the ground, Alaska's not for you because you would have to prep so much for staying warm that, and there's such a short growing season. It's not for you. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. Alaska per capita, 12% of the population are veterans, highest per state. I'd fit in great. There you go. Thank you for your service. I wish I were. What's up, Scott Leaper? Hope you're doing well. Well, guys, Chuck, you remember back a bit? Back a bit what? I don't remember past yesterday. Alaska and EMP, interesting times. Yeah. So, we've probably all read 1 Second to Zero or whatever it is, where the book is, where the EMP hits, and it's about a novel about surviving, and it's pretty good book. And I read that. I don't fear an EMP like I do an economic collapse. Like an economic collapse, I don't fear it anymore. I'm prepared. Um, there's actually some good things that would come out of an economic collapse, but they would take a while. But like, plus, if I die, got faith in the Lord, like, so I don't really need, like, the economic collapse doesn't bother me. But like an EMP, if it would detonated at the right altitude above the United States, um, it probably wouldn't touch Alaska because you got to remember this is a vast landmass. One EMP could probably take out most of Europe, but places in the far north of Scandinavia and where you're at, Bamsay, if I'm not mistaken, of Finland and Sweden and Norway, places in the far north there probably wouldn't be affected. Same thing with Alaska. It's a good portion of us probably, and we're completely independent as far as power grid is concerned. So they would have to use a second nuke to EMP us, and or their first nuke. They'd probably want to use their first nuke, so all of our radar stations and all of our nuclear deterrent missiles are taken offline. But the military has been hardening against an EMP for decades now, so I don't really think that would be a problem. So, Northern California, we have big mountains, low valleys, and a ton of protected game. There you go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yeah, and nobody with to speak of comparatively with guns to take it away from you. You posted a video about some video ammo that wasn't hitting the feet per second. Oh yeah, that posted a bunch of those. Yeah, 1 second after. They're also 1 year and 5 years after. There you go. Finland. I thought it was Finland. What can I come hunt in Finland? And don't say Russian tanks. Although maybe that wouldn't be such a bad idea. I don't know. Let's see. Top rated Remington ammo. You said it was, but never did a grouping test. Ammo's performance. Um, yeah, I don't do grouping tests on my channel a lot because either I'm borrowing the guns or um, it might shoot accurately in my gun, but not accurately in yours. So there's no point to doing grouping tests. Um, if it's underperforming, it's underperforming, and that should be called out. I've seen some guns group with Remington core lock. I have never ever had a gun group with Remington core lock. I can get some tight groups at Barnes factory, and they're pretty inconsistent too because they're loaded by Remington, or they were. So, wish Federal would come out with a 130 grain 308 infusion. Yeah, so do I. Got to through the stream to hear what you said about other calibers for AR-15. Yeah, 6.5 Grindle, 25-45 sharps. The best AR-15 if you for the Alaskan Tundra would be the 25-45 sharps, but you better hand load and you better find the brass and dies quick because I think it's a dead cartridge already. I have a brother in Finland. Yeah, yeah. So Bam, say what can I come hunt with you in Finland? What are the cool things? I want to know. Like my wife would love to travel to Finland and Scandinavia and Norway. So, like, if I did that, can I come hunt with you? I won't even bring my rifle. Just use whatever you hand me. I'm sure you got an extra. So we are getting through the level 4, 50 BMG, neck down to a 30 caliber bullet of choice and a 36-inch barrel. Yeah, cool. Send me one of those, buddy. Send me one of those. I ain't got the money for that. YouTube don't pay like that. Cool. Seal seabirds. You don't need to be a landowner or part of a hunting club. Cool. Just bring a shotgun, huh? Is the 30 super dead yet? Um, Dying? I still want to try it. I want to shoot one. Like, if I can get a gun in a 380 size that's between 380 and 9 millimeter in power, I'd like that. The thing is, I think they tested the ballistics in the 5-inch barrel 1911 that Nighthawk was making or whatever, and then advertised those ballistics. So I don't think you're going to get it out of a small one. Scott Leaper, I'm not even going to touch that. Not even going to touch that. So anyway, yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna have to end the stream a little early. Gotta go spend some time with the kids. It's gonna be bedtime soon, and my son is throwing a fit. If you hadn't heard the screaming from upstairs, so guys, thanks for a great chat, and thanks for lots of questions and materials and that kind of thing to talk about. So, small game on government land only needs hunting licenses. Cool. We're not even allowed to yell at seals here in California. There you go. Yeah, here in Alaska, you have to be a native Alaskan of Native American Alaskan descent in order to hunt seals. So I won't ever be able to hunt them unless somebody invites me on a trip. David Walcott, is that you? Somebody invites me on a trip out in the boonies somewhere, and I could only watch. I couldn't actually participate in the hunt. So who needs gold when you could have brass and gunpowder? That's for sure. Avero, good to see you. Good night. Well, everybody, Godspeed and good hunting. God bless. Take care. We'll see you at the range. Don't forget our MeWe page, our new Twitter X page, all of that stuff. Have a good night.